Luka's first return to Dallas is now over. Luka Doncic went to Dallas to play a game as a member of the Lakers, and it was something. I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch the game that the Lakers won. Very important for playoff positioning for the Lakers. Less important, but still decently important for the Mavericks. I don't know if you got a chance to look at Luka's response to the welcome when he was visibly emotional. I don't know if you got a chance to see the shirts that were made available to everybody in Slovenia, in the language Slovenic, in the Slovenia language, saying, "Welcome home. We love you." The video was the anti Jimmy Butler 45-second Pat Riley edited video when Jimmy came back to Miami. This was a love fest for Luka and a hate fest for the GM, Nico Harrison. He got booed mercilessly. There were fire Nico chants throughout the game. Nico has doubled down and tripled down on this trade, telling everybody, along with Patrick Dumont, the governor of the Mavericks, wink, wink, that this is a trade that you'll look back on and say, this trade made sense. We saw things about Luka that you didn't see. We lived with him since he was 18 years old and alone in a foreign country, coming off a EuroLeague MVP, entered into this world of NBA professionalism and what he's accomplished. You think he's the only 19-year-old who needs hookahs and who needs some sort of party and outlet? Don't be ridiculous. I'm watching the game and I'm watching the video and I'm thinking about Luka the person. I'm thinking about how he puts up 45 points in a game back, how he controls his emotion. And I don't have to guess what he was thinking because every once in a while, a player will actually tell you what they're thinking and tell you the truth. Listen to Luka.
It was a little bit of both, happy and angry, but, it's nice to see some familiar faces here. I spent a lot of times with them. But like you say, it was a lot of emotions. When I woke up, I was tired. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't sleep much. I was excited about this game, and, I really appreciate the fans, the way they reacted to me. I'm tired. But, I'm happy. I'm happy it's over. Now I can get some sleep finally. But like I said, it was an amazing experience. Like I said, the fans, the way they accepted me, cheered for me, it was just unbelievable.
So often we look at players as robots and as machines. What a human moment by Luka right there. When he just tells you, listen, this is a lot. I had no idea I was going to get traded. I was shocked at the trade. I guess I'm happy to be in LA and playing with LeBron and playing with the Lakers and playing at the Great Western Forum. Yes, I won't call it anything else. But if you looked at his face, that level of exhaustion, that weight that is on his shoulders, imagine how freeing it was to get past a game. And I've spent plenty of time, Coca, talking to players who we've traded or traded for or traded away to other teams. And they do look at these return games, not like Jimmy Butler said, where they don't care about it, they don't focus about it, they don't think about it, they've moved on. That's really not being anything other than disingenuous. These players have these games circled on their calendar. They want to perform well. They want to figure out what the emotion is, how it feels to come back. I also thought about it from Mark Cuban's standpoint, who went onto the court after the game and talked to Luka. I thought about it from Nico's standpoint, what it's like. I've been booed, Coca. There's been chance for me to be fired. I've been booed, all those things. It doesn't feel good. But what it does is it makes you more resolute that I know what I'm doing. The fans don't understand what I'm doing. They're not good at what I'm doing, or they'd be doing what I'm doing. And the reason you do that is you build up this wall. You put yourself under a shell that's even thicker than what a turtle has. And you do it to avoid shrapnel. You do it to avoid chance, to avoid booing and letting it impact you. If you don't have a shell, you end up with some major mental health issues. We talked about issues that happened. We talked about Durant and the Red Sox. We've talked about Kevin Love. We've talked about so many players and what they go through. Executives go through it. Anyone in the spotlight goes through it. Anyone out of the spotlight goes through it. We all go through it. It doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're poor, if you're famous, if you're infamous, or if even your dog doesn't know your name. How we interact with the outside forces that are in front of us on a daily basis, that is so informative as to how strong we are and what coping mechanisms we have. What we saw in Luka's face is real. I didn't see Nico. All I did was hear the chants. He was in the tunnel most of the game. He came out a little bit. But you have to imagine that not only did he want the Mavericks to win the game last night, but he wanted to just scream out to anyone who would listen to please understand why we did what we did, but I may have been wrong. Luka has closed the book on this chapter. I'm sorry to all the fans in Dallas, but Luka said it clearly. He said, I love these fans. I love this city, but it's time to move on. It's like when a relationship ends, there can be vitriol, there can be anger, there can be an absolute ripple effect of emotion that can impact parents, kids, employees, employers. At some point, you have to move on. The good news is it seems that Luka now has closure, the closure that everyone seeks when there has been a disruption to your personal status quo. Has Nico? I doubt it. Has Cuban? Unlikely. Have the fans in Dallas? Hopefully. What we know is the NBA season comes to a close this Sunday. And as we head into the play-in tournaments and then the playoffs, the singular focus for these teams will be on the Larry O'Brien Trophy, on finding a way to win a championship and get a ring. All of this emotion, all of the passion of what happened during the season, when the season ends, page 1 of how to be a professional athlete or work in professional sports, when the season ends, done. It's time to move on.